Hi everybody, welcome to Live Blogger. In this video, I'll show you how to add this design to your Blogger website. So here we can see we have these social media buttons, and if I hover over these buttons, we have this animation and we have the social media handle displayed over here. Now in the previous video, I had shown you how to design this from scratch using HTML and CSS. I will also leave the link of the source code in the description of this video. Now in this video, we're going to add this to our Blogger website. So let's get started. Alright, here I have logged into my Blogger dashboard, and let's click on View Blog. And this is how our blog looks right now. Now we're going to add this design to the end of the posts. So here after this comment, here we'll just add this social media buttons. So let's do that. So let's go back to our dashboard, and I'm using this theme called Contempo-Lite, which comes by default with Blogger. Now here you have to go to Layout, and here you have to add an HTML gadget, and you have to add that over here just after this blog post widget. So here we can see we have the blog post widget, and after that we have the popular post widget. So it is displayed over here. So we need to add our design just after this blog post widget. So let's go ahead and add a new gadget. So we can click on add a gadget, and let's select HTML/JavaScript, and here you have to add the code. So let's add the CSS inside a style tag. So I'll just create a style tag, and let's go back to our source code, and let's copy the CSS from here, and let's paste it inside this style tag. Now let's go ahead and paste the HTML. So let's go back to the HTML file, and let's copy this HTML from here. So this whole social buttons container division. So let's copy this and let's paste it over here. Now here we can see we have each of the social media buttons. So you can change these to whatever you want. So the first one is set to Instagram. You can change this to anything you want. And then you can go ahead and add the handle over here. So you can do the same with all these three social media buttons. Now you can also add new buttons over here by just copying and pasting this anchor tag. Now here for these icons, we are using Font Awesome. So we need to copy this link as well. So let's copy this, and let's paste it over here just before the style tag. Right now, let's go ahead and save this. And now we need to add this gadget down here. So let's drag it over here, and I'll just zoom out a little bit, and let's drag it down here. So we need to add it just after the blog post widget. So here we can see we have added it just after the blog post gadget. And now let's go ahead and click on save. And here we can see that the changes have been saved. So let's go back over here and let's reload this page. And here we can see that our social media buttons are being displayed. And if I hover over these, we get the animation working, but the color of the text is not correct. So let's right click over here and go to inspect, and let's click on this anchor tag, and here we have already added this color right here in the CSS. But let's go ahead and click on hover, and let's activate hover. And now if you go ahead and take a look at this anchor tag, here we can see that our color is not set, but it is setting the color to the color of the theme. So for that we need to change this to exclamation important. Now this will override the CSS of the theme. So now we can see we have the correct color. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go back to the layout, and let's click on this edit button, and let's go over here to style, and here for the color, let's add exclamation important, and let's save it. And let's go back to our website and reload. And now we can see we have the correct colors. Now the next thing we will do is we will add a white background color to this so that it blends with the previous section. So let's right click over here and go to inspect, and let's select the container division. And right now we can see that there is some margin. So if you scroll down here, we can see that we have this margin of 30. So we need to go ahead and remove the margin, and then we need to add a background color. So let's tap background, and let's set the color to white. And now we can see that we have some gap between this section and this section. So if you hover over the blog section, we can see that it has some margin. So if we scroll down here, if we take a look at this, we can see that it has a margin bottom of 16 pixels. So what we can do is we can go over here to our social buttons container division and we can add a negative margin. So let's type margin top and let's set it to negative 16 pixels. And now we can see we don't have any gap. Now let's go ahead and add some padding so that these elements do not stick to the edges. So let's add a padding of 24 pixels, or maybe we can increase it a little bit. So let's try 40 pixels. I think that looks all right. So let's go ahead and add these 3 lines of CSS to social buttons container. So let's copy these and let's go over here to edit, and here for social buttons container, let's remove the margin and let's add the CSS. Right now, let's go ahead and click on save. And let's go back to our website and reload. And now we can see everything is working all right. Now here you can go ahead and add the links of your pages. So here, instead of this hash, you can add the links of your social media pages. And when someone clicks on these buttons, they'll be taken to that page. Now you can also add conditions to this widget. So for example, if you don't want to display it inside the home page, so if you scroll down, here we can see that these buttons are displayed in the home page as well. Now, for example, if you don't want to display it in the home page, then you can go ahead and go over here to theme and then click on this arrow and click on edit HTML. And here you have to add a condition to the widget. Now, before making any changes inside the theme code, you can just go ahead and copy everything from here and paste it somewhere so that you have a backup. Now let's go over here to the HTML widget. Now we know that our widget is after the blog widget. So if I go over here to blog and if I just fold this, here we can see we have the HTML widget. Now here you can add a condition. So let's type COND and here let's check whether it is not the home page. So you can just type not data::viv.is homepage. Now this widget will be displayed only if it is not the home page. So let's click on save. And let's go back to our website and reload. Now we can see inside the home page, we don't have the buttons displayed. But if you go to any of these posts, and if you scroll down, here we have the buttons displayed. So that's basically how you can add these animated social media buttons to your Blogger website. Alright, so that's basically it for this video. If you have any doubts, you can ask in the comments below. And if you like this video, please click on the like button and subscribe to this channel to get the latest video updates. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a nice day.